Hello and welcome to the fours module, or as we say sometimes, welcome to the other side of the school. The purpose of this is to help orient you into the classroom, and then also to tell you some specific things that we might see in the fours that you could help with when you're the working parent. So the first thing we're going to do is take a little break. We're going to do a tour of the classroom, show you some important things around the school, and then we'll meet back up and I will tell you some of the things that you can help with in the fours classroom specifically. Right. In the fours room, when you're working, you're going to have a couple things you need to do. First thing, when you come in, you need to make sure that you sign both yourself and your child in when you're working. Down here at the bottom, it says art parent, patio parent, and snack parent. Make sure you sign yourself in under the one that you're assigned to that day, as well as your child. And then at the end of the day, make sure you sign them out. If your child is going to go to lunch bunch, you'll put in a Y or an N under lunch. Yes, if they're going, no, if they're not. A lot of parents like to send their kiddo to lunch bunch when they're cleaning because it makes the cleaning process go faster, but it's completely up to you. Also, if you're a snack parent, make sure that you put what the snack is here on the calendar. We need this for licensing purposes. It also enables anybody who has allergies to easily come and see exactly what you have set up for snack. Moving on. When you're in the classroom, you're going to want to, after you sign in, make sure you check in with your child's teacher. See what they have going on for the day. If you are assigned the art parent, the art duties are listed right here. It tells you how to set up the easel, how to clean up the easel, and how to assist children when they are here. This is the art studio for the fours classroom. Everything a child could want is in this space. If they want something and they don't have it, talk to your child's teacher. In this bathroom is the first aid kit. Right up here, we have gloves and Band-Aids. This is just for the little tiny boo-boos. If a kiddo has something bigger than a boo-boo, make sure you talk to their teacher or to Vicki, our office admin. Right up here, you're going to find all of your daily cleaning supplies. This is where you're going to find bleach bottles, soap and water bottles, extra trash bags, items like that. You're going to want to be able to utilize that. Right here are the working parent keys. When you are working, it is imperative that you have this on you at all times. This key, the small key right here, opens the side gate. If there was an emergency and we need to get out, every adult needs to be able to leave the building from every access point. This is a key fob, which would allow you to get back in the front door. And this square key right here enables you to get into the maintenance closet where the fridge and freezer is. So it's important that you have those on at all times while you're here. A lot of parents like to put their car keys and switch it out so that way they don't accidentally take it home and then have to come back later on in the evening, because that's a bummer. Right here is the list of what is going on throughout the day. If you're a little confused about where you should be or what is going on, make sure that you refer to this. This will help you orient yourself as to what's going on in the classroom that day. Moving on. If you are working parent for snack, this is where you'll put any dry goods. Make sure that there's plenty of paper towels and Dixie cups. Make sure that everything is prepared so when it's time for snack, you'll easily be able to set everything out. The snack parent duties are right here. It talks about what to do when you get here, how to set up snack, different tips for snack, and how to clean up from snack. Also right here are our dietary preferences and our allergies. Be sure to take a look at these. We have a lot of kiddos with allergies and with dietary preferences, and we want to make sure that we're meeting their needs. You do not have to bring a snack that accommodates every child, but you cannot have anything with nuts or with tree nuts. That is one of our school rules. But your snack could include cheese, even if a child can't eat cheese. We will provide an alternate snack for that child. Right here is the parent duties. This just kind of lists before school and after school. So when you get here at 8:45 and you're snack parent, you're going to do these things. If you're art parent, you're going to do these things. And if you're patio parent, you're going to do these things. Throughout the day, you'll follow along with what your teacher has planned for the day, and then after school, you'll refer back to here to find out what the cleaning duties are for the end of the day. One more thing we want to show you in this classroom. Other set of cleaning supplies is right here. There's also another first aid kit inside this bathroom. And finally, another description of the day. So regardless of which classroom you're in, you have an easy place to come and grab and to figure out where things are and what's needed in the classroom. When you're a working parent, or if you come in for weekend cleaning or something like that, you'll always come in through the front door using your key fob. Right here is our calendar board. It's just going to give you a brief update of what's happening this month, coming up next month, stuff like that. Make sure you check it occasionally. You'll also get newsletters or weekly reminders from the office. Make sure you check those to ensure that you're keeping up to date with all things co-op. When we talk about your family mailbox or your family cubby, this is the area that we're talking about. In order to find which cubby is yours, search for your last name right here, find the number, and then go down, and the number will be to the left of the mailbox. So this number 40 is for this mailbox right here. So make sure you're checking your mail frequently. Teachers will put in art that your children have done, and the board members will occasionally put items in here in order for you to find out what's going on at the school. Right here is our tuition box. This is where you would put any kind of money or check that you need to get. Please don't leave any money or checks on Vicky's desk. Anything like that needs to go right here. There's a lock, only Vicky has a key to it. It's just a way to keep it safer. If you do have cash, you can always just write on the outside of an envelope, tuition for whomever, there's envelopes right here, and pop it in there. And this way we'll always make sure that we have what you need. Right here is the paint cabinet. When you are working in the classroom and a teacher asks you to get paint, you're going to want to come and get it here. There are all sorts of things in this cabinet. There's tempera paint, watercolors, acrylic paint. Make sure that you're getting the right one that your parent or that your teacher is actually asking you to get. Moving on. Here in the kitchen, this is the hub of everything snack. If you are in the 2s or 3s, your dry snacks will go right in these baskets. If you're in the 4s, your dry snack goes on the grain shelf. In addition, all sorts of extra things, so if you need baggies or paper towels for the kitchen, they're stored right here. Do not put anything to soak in this sink. If you need to soak something, we have a soaking bucket right here. Make sure that you're utilizing this. You can stick it over here, do your soap, put in your paint cups, and move on. This is storage area for the 2s and 3s classroom. Here's where the 2s store their small group activities. Here's where the 3s store their small group activities. This is where the paint cups and paintbrushes are stored for the 2s and 3s. They're always just kind of right in this spot. You're welcome to use the microwave or coffee maker anytime you're here. And then here we go, here's the fridge. When you are snack parent, you're going to want to make sure that you put any perishable snacks in the bins that are labeled. So there's 1 for 2s, 1 for 3s, and 2 for the 4s class. When you are snack parent, one of your duties is to put any lunch bunch bags in the fridge. You may put them on shelves 1, 2, or 3. This top shelf is dedicated for teachers to be able to utilize for any curriculum items that they have. So please don't ever put your snack on these 3 shelves. These are dedicated for lunch bunch. All right, if your child is in the 2s or 3s class, this is the gate that you pick up and drop off at. But if your child goes to lunch bunch, all lunch bunch children get picked up through this gate. So when you go in, you can scoop your hand around, but when you leave this gate, it is imperative that you ensure that it is pulled shut and latched. This gate goes directly into the parking lot. So for the safety of our children, anytime you are using this gate, ensure that it is shut and latched when you leave. You may have heard at the business meetings a lot of people excited about winning the parking spot. This is that spot. Parking Space of the Month winner. If you win this at the business meeting, you get to park here all month. You don't have to worry about parking at Walgreens. You can park here every day that your child comes. Right here is the dumpster. When you're working in the classroom, this is the dumpster where you empty the trash can. So ensure that every trash can in your child's classroom is emptied, and then place it in this dumpster. And then right here you can see there's another reserved parking spot. It says reserved for auction winner. At our yearly auction, this space gets auctioned off for the entire year. You see Vicki there all the time because she bought it last year, but we want to see her lose it this year. So at the auction, make sure you bid on it.
Hey!
If you're coming for weekend cleaning, you can park in any parking spot in our parking lot. Please avoid using the parking spots that are for the thrift store next door. But you can park in any spot. You'll want to make sure you enter the front door using your key fob. So don't forget it. And keep your keys on you at all times, because all the doors aren't open when we're here on the weekend and you don't want to get locked out. To use the key fob, you press it in front of the door, listen for the beep, and pull it open. You only have 5 seconds to open the door, and then there'll be another little beep which will automatically lock it again. When you come inside, if you are the only person here, you're going to need to turn the lights on. The lights are inside the office, and the light switch is right here on the wall. The one light switch works for the entire school. All you need to do is switch it on. But when you leave for the day, make sure that you turn it off. You're going to save electricity and power that way. This is the cleaning shed. This is going to be the shed around the school that you're going to utilize the most frequently. It is locked. The key code is 4316. It's the same as our address in case you forget. Once you input it, in here is everything that you'll need for daily cleaning. So here are the mop sticks. Dirty mop heads go right here. These need to be hung over the way that you see them right now, because that will stop the smell from that moldy, dirty smell. So make sure they're hung over, and then if there are dry ones, you can just kind of shove them back in there. Also in here are the bathroom cleaning kits. So each one has Lysol, Comet, a toilet brush spray, and Pledge. You'll want to grab this when you're cleaning at the end of the day. And you'll want to grab a clean mop head. In order to use this, you're going to get it wet under the sink, rinse it out to where it's just barely damp, put it on the bottom of the mop stick, and then every room has floor cleaner. Do not use bleach on the floor unless there was a potty accident. We want to use just the floor cleaner. It will help the wax that's on the floor stay for longer. And if you need to refill the floor cleaner, that's also in here. It is a concentrate. It's only 1 tablespoon to an entire bottle of water. You'll also want to grab a vacuum when you're cleaning daily, which is right here. We share these. So make sure when you're done, if you could pop into the classroom next door and say, hey, do you guys need the vacuum? So that way they don't have to come and find it. Also in this shed is any extra items that you might need that are disposable throughout the day. So gloves, wipes, trash bags, Dixie cups, paper towels, items like that you're going to find in this cabinet. When you close this, ensure that the lock is completely latched. Sometimes you push it and it sounds like it's locked, but it's not. So please make sure that it is latched. You can move it to make sure that it's completely locked and then pull on it. This shed is on the playground, so we want to make sure that our children are very safe. If you're looking for some paper towels or some Kleenex and there are none in here, right there it says overflow shed. That's where you would go to get anything. If you can't find it in here, it might be there. One more shed I want to show you is for our weekend cleaning shed. Now, if you're here on the weekend and it is your 1 or 2 times a month that you're cleaning, you're going to need to use a little bit more than the regular cleaning supplies, the day-to-day cleaning supplies. That shed is right here. It's the one that says wagons on it, right over by the bikes. So when you come, you'll make sure that you sign in. Not sign in. You'll use your key fob, turn on the light switch, and then come over here. Again, the code is the same, 4316. And this is where you're going to find anything that you need for weekend cleaning. So you're going to find rags, and you're going to find a list of what you need to do. So here in the bucket, this is labeled Forest Class. You're going to have some extra cleaners, and then it's going to tell you exactly what to do. Grab this and just work your way down the list. All of them start with thank you, because if it wasn't for you, our school would definitely not be as clean as it is. We depend on you guys during these weekend cleanings to make sure that our classrooms are clean and disinfected. It's really imperative and important what you're doing when you're here. Also, if your child is here and it's not a regular school day, make sure that they clean up after themselves. So if you've been working on the lawn and they've been out here riding bikes, make sure at the end of the day that the bikes are all back where they belong. Not only does that reinforce the cleaning routines that we already have throughout the day, it also makes sure that the playground and the classrooms are ready for teachers when they come in. All right, so when you're the working parent in the Forest classroom, you are able to really assist in so many really exciting ways. In the 2s and the 3s, we do a lot of social emotional growth, and we'll still continue that in the 4s. But there's also so many things that 4-year-olds are excited about learning. And we really want to encourage you when you're in the classroom to dive into that. If a child is, showing interest in colors, then dive into that. If they're showing interest in the letters of their name, go ahead and start talking about that. Other things that start with a G, because your name starts with a G. Don't feel intimidated or nervous, like, oh, I'm going off topic. Anything that you're going to do where you're diving in, when you're interacting with children, where you're expanding their vocabulary is going to be beneficial. If you end up going so far off, the teacher will let you know, like, hey, this was the purpose of this task. So let's head back, to this goal. But otherwise, there's so many different ways. So if you feel inspired to, grab a book off of the shelf to explain something that they're seeing in the science center, go ahead and do that. Your role in here is as a teacher's aide. So if you see a way that you can expand learning during child-directed play, go ahead and do that. I really want to encourage you that if you see a child leaving a center during child-directed time without cleaning up their area, to have them come back and help you clean it up. They don't have to clean up the entire area all by themselves, but definitely we can have an expectation of, all these blocks are out, I'm going to need you to come back and help me pick up some of them before you can move on to the next activity. Now, in the Forest class, when they are done with snack, the children are expected to be able to clean up their spot by themselves, to use the restroom if needed, and to sit in the library to read a book until the teacher's ready to go outside. Now, these are routines that we're going to work on through the first couple weeks of class, and then we would expect a 4-year-old to be able to kind of follow those routines on their own. So, I know I'm done. I can get up, I can clean up my spot, I can go to the bathroom if I need to, I can sit down and read a book in the library. Now, if your child needs a little bit more assistance with some of those things, feel free to talk to your teacher about providing, assistance to them. Perhaps your child doesn't wipe very well on their own. Make sure that the teacher knows that. Or maybe they need a little bit more assistance in reminding about pottying. Make sure your teacher knows that. But our goal is for children to really become independent and self-reliant when it comes to self-care. in the forest class. Then when we go out onto the big yard, there's a lot of stuff happening out there. They're going to be the oldest ones on the playground, and they're busy. They have a plan when they're going out there. They're going to build a volcano. They're going to ride their bike as fast as they can. They're going to try to get across the monkey bars. Very different from a 2-year-old who's kind of just out there wandering, looking for something that, looking for a bug that might look interesting. Many 4s go out onto that big yard and they have a plan of how they're going to use their 30 minutes out there. So we want to be able to be there to assist, but also to remind them like, oh yeah, there are other kids here. If a 4-year-old is just zooming around on their bike and you see some 2-year-olds that are getting, narrowly missed on the bike, it's perfectly appropriate to ask them, to stop them and say, hey, I know you're really going super fast on your bike, but I need you to be really careful because did you see this 2-year-old who's standing right here and she wants to cross the path? So if you see her, watch out and stop and invite her to go across. Or maybe even invite her to sit on the back of the trike so you can go fast and she can experience what that's like. So we're going to do a lot of supporting them in what it feels like to be the big kid, what it feels like to be the powerful kid, and how they can use that for, use their powers for good. The other thing that we see in the forest class is that we're asking children to sit and attend at circle for a little bit longer of a time. And this is normal for children to struggle with this a little bit. So what can you do to assist? Now, some children may really be struggling with this and have an alternate plan with the teacher. If that's the case, the teacher will let you know. But otherwise, our goal is for children to be able to sit and attend at circle by the end of the school year for about 20 minutes. That's a significant period of time. So at the beginning of the year, we're looking at only maybe doing that for 10 minutes and then expanding that. So what can you do to help children? Because that's a really hard self-regulation skill to learn. Well, the first thing we can do is through proximity. So if you see a child that's struggling sitting still or that is constantly up and down when the teacher is reading a book or teaching a lesson, the first thing we can do is just put ourselves in proximity to them. Sit down next to them. Maybe all it takes is just a pat on the back or a touch of the arm, or even just kind of like snuggling up so your shoulder's touching their shoulder and then they kind of lean into you and then you become like that bracing point of, oh, okay, yes, I'm supposed to sit still here. So there's a lot of ways that just by being next to a child that we can assist them in that self-regulation skill. The other thing that we can do is provide a verbal reminder. Sometimes the touch isn't enough or they're not really noticing that we're there. So one of the most important things that I can't stress enough to you is that if you don't know what to do, just do something. Sit down and talk to a child, read a book, ask the teacher, am I doing everything right? Should I be doing something else? What else do you need? We really depend on you to be a part and an integral and important part of our curriculum and our classroom. So if you're feeling a little intimidated or a little unsure, you can't go wrong by reading a book, by singing a song, by sitting down to play a game, or just by asking for help.